Hey everybody, welcome back to FM Jeeping. Today we're going to be working a little bit on the trailer. So I don't think I ever really fully showcased this trailer that I got here that I use to haul FM around. Now, it's probably not the right trailer for the job. This is an equipment trailer. It's a 7K. It does fit FM on there. However, I had to make some modifications. Let me kind of show you what I've done up to this point, and then I'll show you what I got in the works going forward. So what happened was I bought this trailer. This is a 2005 Big Text CH70, I believe. It's a 7,000 pound GVR W or GVWR, whatever. I then added the first of two toolboxes. This is the second. I basically, this little frame here, I used some actually recycled bed frame, put a much bigger toolbox on it. It was huge, like literally there was so much room in there. I put all my stuff in there and then some, and had way too much space. In fact, the toolbox kind of came about 6 inches into the trailer, and I lost a little bit of the bed space here. So I opted for this. I got off Facebook Marketplace, and it literally fit right there, perfect. All I had to do was weld up a couple brackets to mount the back to, and this thing works pretty well. It houses just about everything I need for the most part. But something that I did need to do, as I'm towing through Massachusetts, I've heard that they are real big sticklers on fenders for trailers, and these are not drive-over fenders. They're much cheaper. So what I did was I put it so they could be removable. See, just like that. Little overlapping tail there. Slide it under. Can't go up, but you can only go one way, which is out. And the pin goes all the way through. Of course, I'm doing it one-handed and not really. So I did that on both fenders. Works rather well. I can get the fenders off in about 10 to 15 seconds. And these are the only things that need to kind of go on and off when I unload my trailer, or unload FM. And I got tired of strapping the ramps down everywhere I go, because I would have to undo the ramps because they were, strapped to the trailer. I'd have to remove the ramps, pull the Jeep off, put the ramps back on, and then do the reverse when I was ready to leave. So I ended up reinstalling something that came from the factory but had rusted off, just ramp storage. And I like this. This works rather well. It's very quick if I need it. Locked in with a pin. Prior to this season, I had these wood planks here. What these things are basically risers to get the wheels of FM to the top of my trailer, the level of my trailer here. And what I used to do is that before I put these little brackets on, these things would flop around. If I didn't have the rig on the trailer, I'd have to tie them down. It was a major pain in the butt. But basically now what I've done is I've put these on. And you can lift them up. Let me see if I can lift it up here. You can lift it up, and it could bounce, but these things are about 3 inches deep. And what I do, if I'm driving the trailer empty, I will just put a strap across one side, and it will keep it from popping up high enough to fall out of the pocket, the stake pockets here. So, and I don't have to worry about it sliding off the back. I just have to worry about it coming up, which the strap keeps it buckled down. So that's all good there. Okay, so one of the last things that I think I need to address before some of the other bigger projects is, you see this little round spot here? That's where my tire usually sits. Now, I don't think it's really good to keep a tire against some like moist wood all the time. Not to mention, it's kind of gaudy. Anybody can walk by and take it. Like I said, it doesn't look good. I want it to be kind of mounted in a way where it's functional, easy to get to, but out of the way, and I can remove it fairly quickly. Kind of the best of all worlds. Now, I had originally bought this from Amazon. I was going to mount it right here. However, the tire, this is I think a 15-inch tire, is hitting my marker light. Now I can cut this off and no harm, no foul, but like I like having this marker light here. I can move the tire kind of this way, but it'll be on the corner and it'll hit my box. So what I've come up with is something that I think might work. I have a bunch of this angle iron lying around. What I'm gonna do is essentially, oh, wrong way. Let's do it this way. I'm gonna put these together, weld it, trim it down to fit like basically like a pocket stake. Similar to something like this, where you can drop it in, throw a hitch pin across, pin it, and yeah, it'll bounce around a little bit, but it won't go anywhere. Now I'm gonna try to make the tolerances a little tighter on this so it doesn't bounce around and it clips down pretty well. So I could always mod this to make it fit my needs, but like it's galvanized. I don't really feel like welding to galvanize. I don't feel like giving myself cancer. At the same time too, this is 4 bolts that hold this thing on over here, and like I said, I'd have to modify it to make it work. This I'm going to do in the pocket stake. It'll drop in, it'll be right here. I don't really ever have anything here. I usually have a strap going across here holding this tire down. My rig sits back a little bit further and it's out of the way. I think this is going to work pretty well, so I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot. The worst thing I'm out is a little bit of time and a little bit of weld and some scrap metal I had lying around anyway. So let's give it a shot. So now I'm going to go mark the width, burn it together, and then I'm going to mark the depth. And the beauty part, I was just thinking about it, the beauty part about this is I can put this pretty much anywhere as long as the pocket stake, the stake pocket, whatever you want to call it, isn't taken. But that leaves me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 other stake pockets, pocket stakes, whatever you want to call it, Philly cheesesteak, whatever. Other places I can put it. Unfortunately, I have a couple that are used up, like my front up here. Why they put this here, I never understood. I don't know if it was an afterthought, but they put a pocket stake or stake pocket, whatever, underneath this rail. There's like really no good way to get to it. So I just welded in some D-rings. Oh, I forgot to cover that. But yeah, let's get this width covered. All right, so sure, I could go to the steel store and buy probably a very close piece that I need. I could just drop right in or trim a little bit and we're good, but I don't got time for that. So we're just gonna make this. I'll let this cool down. Probably go eat some dinner, and I'll come back and keep working on it. All right, so done with dinner. This thing's cooled down now. Not my best welding job, but it'll do. So we'll go ahead, put this up, mark it where we need to cut it, and then we can build the top for it. All right, not bad for the first attempt. It looks like I just got to shave a little bit off the top here. But I like the fitment. I really do. This is good. All right. Now it's all right to be a little loose because a lot of the stake pocket inserts that I've had are loose because these all vary from manufacturer to manufacturer. But the less this thing wobbles around, the better I'll feel. So I want it snug without being overly tight. So I'm just going to hit this with a flat disc. We'll be right back. So I nailed it on the first try, which is beautiful. Well, second try, but it goes all the way through, and it actually is pretty snug otherwise, like especially side to side. So it's going to rattle around a little bit. So, oops. So now I got to make a topper for this, so it sits on top, it doesn't fall through, and then we can measure the holes to drill for the linchpin on the bottom. So I think what I'll do is just overlap this by head, and then I just want this to stick out ever so slightly. Let's do that. All right, I think we're good. Just like this. It overlaps on all 4 planes, so we're good. Now I'll just center this, tack it up. All right, so the next day, the brackets all cooled down, thank goodness, because man, it was hot. So now what I'm going to do, I was thinking about it last night, and I thought I had an idea, but it isn't going to work. I was actually going to cut a hole in here, countersink the shaft that comes up all the way in, tie it into this bracket, and then tie it into the plate, and really give that lateral support. However, my the tube I'm going to use for this is too wide for the stake pocket and all that other good stuff, so I'm going to have to basically flush mount it. However, I think I'm going to build in 2 gussets, this side and this side, have the tube come up, and then ideally I think I'm going to have it come up about 9 inches and then kick over probably about 25-30 degrees, so I can start building the, what's it called, the mounting surface for the rim. All right, so that's kind of what I envisioned, and then I'll probably cut an angle, maybe, I don't know yet, and then fish plate it on either side real thin, like, just to give it a little bit of support. Maybe gusset it right here, and then I'll build my mounting spot up here. Would be cool if I was able to bend this. To be honest with you, I'm starting to wonder, maybe I do this with round tube. I got some tube. I actually have some scrap tube from my roll cage. Maybe that might be a little bit better. I don't know, let's play with this first and see what I can do. Slight change of plan. I want to try this 90 degree that I had. In fact, actually it was more than 90 degree. I cut the bottom off. It was like a weird compound bend that I was testing out my air over hydraulic A-frame bender, so that didn't pan out. So I'm just gonna try to salvage this, might as well. Just gonna trim the top off, and then now I have my base and my angle to the mounting surface for the rim. So I'm gonna just get all this tacked up. I don't want to finalize anything, but I want to like tack it up securely so I can test it, and then once I cut this, I tack it to the plate, then I can start building my my mounting surface. I'm just going to do some pre-marking. I'll come back, I'll tack this in. Then we can build our mounting plate. Ah! Woo! Dang. That's why you wear gloves, folks. I'm an idiot. Did it backwards. I marked it backwards, forgetting that I had to turn it around. Let me cut this off, tack it up, I'll be right back. Alright, not terrible. Not bad. Plenty of room left on the plate that I can weld all the way around. A little thin up here in the front, a little thin on the back, but for the most part I'm going to be able to get like 90% of this. The angle looks pretty decent. So now what I gotta do is mock up a plate that I can drill out and make for the tire. Right, so now what I need to do is build the mounting surface for the rim, and it's going to be about 6 inches in a circle diameter here. I could use the plasma cutter, however, I do just happen to have a 6-inch hole saw. I hope this is bimetal. We're gonna find out. Back from the cornhole days. So let's, I'm kind of curious to see how this does. We'll try it. Hopefully don't ruin it. This drill is strong enough to break bones. I'm gonna put some gloves on. Ugh. Why am I doing this? Alright, I don't know where my other glove is, so we'll just go nice and slow. All right, cool down. I hit it with a sanding disc. Pretty darn good. Honestly, this is one of the better circles I've done. But I'm gonna flip it over, trace a circle, and then I can go from there. I would have liked a little bit more meat on these, but let's give this a shot and let's see what we can do. All right, so let's, you know what? Let's test fit these before I go too crazy. Because to be honest with you, I went a little rogue with the dots, so I might be a little off. So let's test it out. All right, amazingly, they work. So I ripped these lugs. I bought these like a long time ago when I did the WJ, was it the ZJ rear brake caliper thingamajiggy conversion for the XJ back when I had the Chrysler 8 1/4. But I just happened to throw them on. They're the same thread pitch as the trailer, which is what I want in case I ever have a blowout or something happens. I want to be able to reuse the studs or the lugs and potentially maybe even the studs out of this for the trailer. I think it's only fitting because, like, in case I ever lose something, if something falls down, rolls down the hill, and I'm stuck without a lug nut, at least I have a couple spares. Shoot, that worked out really, really well. Kind of shocked. All right, now the monumental task of getting this centered on this to see if it's where I want to put it. I wish I could get it that height. That is like perfect. I could probably bolt that up. No, I'm gonna have to go above it. I'm probably gonna have to do it like that. I wonder if it'll let it sit. I like it. I like it. So let's go ahead and tack this up. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and tack this up. Now, originally what I was going to do was center this right in this hole. However, I'm not really, like, I actually want to sunk the tire down closer to the trailer, because if it's up in the air flopping around, I feel like it's just gonna have a tendency to like put more force on it. So what I'm gonna do is center this, but kind of move it closer to the top, so that way, like, and then you know what, maybe right about there. So it's not perfectly centered, but I'm gonna try to get it kind of in the middle of all the triangles there. And then if I have to, I can run a gusset like on the back side under here, which I probably won't, but maybe just to be safe, I'll run a little one. But we'll see how I feel, and once I get it all mounted up. Woo! I'm almost kind of tempted to tack these in too, because they're usable. Yeah, they're a little bit janky, but like I'll never use these. These things are like too short for anything I have. You know what? Just for grins, I'm just gonna tack these in. All right, I like it. It looks decent. From the backside, it actually looks pretty legit. Now the question is will this fit once I put my Jeep on? That's the question. Looking at that, I don't think my Jeep's gonna fit. Damn it. Although I don't know for sure. Are my tires somewhere here? Yeah, my tire comes right here. I'm literally gonna be right. Does it? Let me look on the other side. So this is a weird jumping off point. Now, I'm looking at this. I love the way it looks. It looks, to me, very functional. I can literally pick it up, pull it out. I still gotta finish up and figure out what I'm doing on the bottom here to like lock it in. I don't know if I'm gonna do a through pin. I might actually do a through pin, and then also on the back side of this, drill a hole and thread a nut and use that as kind of like a, to kind of put pressure to kind of push it against the stake pocket and use the pin, and it'll hold it nice and steady. But the biggest thing is I think I might just hit this with my Jeep. Ooh, I gotta be careful. Oh, okay, I gotta be careful. My tacks are screaming. But yeah, like I'm gonna go ahead and finish this, because even if I can't use it when the Jeep is on the trailer, which is pretty much why I use this. At least I have a storage for the tire, otherwise. And at the same time too, like I might be able to just turn around and give this to somebody or sell it or something. I don't know. Like I'm gonna go ahead and finish this, and I think the Jeep's going on a run here in the next week or two. I can test it out and see if it'll work. So let me just go ahead and let's buzz this thing up. That was hot. Okay, so pretty much I'm done. Here's how it landed. The only thing I did that I didn't show you on camera is I drilled a 1/2 inch hole for my 1/2 inch hitch pin with the cotter pin that goes through, and we're good. The only change I might make is maybe down the line, if I want to keep this more permanent and it works really well with my Jeep, I'm going to drill a hole, do a capture nut on the back side of this, put a bolt all the way through, and what that'll do is it'll lock this in a lot better. It'll also keep it from coming up, as well as like it gives me adjustability if I want to use this on other vehicles. Maybe I'll post up some pictures of it done once I get it done painted. I just don't really want to paint it right now because it's a little chilly out. It's about 50 degrees and not in the mood to paint. So yeah, so here's a tire carrier fully painted and mounted, and I had started putting the Jeep on the trailer when I started taking some of the pictures. Now I'm pretty happy with how it came out, and lo and behold, the Jeep does fit on the trailer with the tire carrier in place. Now this next picture is going to show just how tight it is, but it is totally workable and doable, and I'm happy with the overall outcome. And with that being said, we'll catch you on the next one.